People think their English is better than it really is. But the truth comes out when real situations test them. We all love to believe we are C1 or C2. But is that level just a joke for most learners? Have you ever felt confident until someone asked you a deep question? Suddenly, your words stopped, and silence became your answer. What if your English level is not what you think? And what if the mirror shows you a truth you didn't expect? You are watching Storytime English. Here, every story teaches you something new and helps you grow with English. Let's begin. Yesterday, a student named Arjun sat in a cafe. He opened his laptop and joined an online English interview. The interviewer smiled and said, "Tell me about yourself." Arjun froze, even though he had practiced many times before. He thought his English was strong, but in that moment, every word felt heavy and strange. Why does this happen to so many learners? Why do we feel C1 in the classroom but A2 in real life? The problem is not vocabulary alone. The problem is the test of real pressure. Arjun wanted to speak smoothly, but every sentence felt like a mountain. He knew hundreds of English words, yet his mouth could not use them in time. Have you faced this problem too? Where your brain is fast but your tongue feels slow? This is the first truth about English levels. We don't fail because of words. We fail because of pressure. The interviewer waited for Arjun. Finally, he said in broken English, "I am good, I study, I work." Was that really his level? Or was it just fear eating his words? Most learners believe they are advanced, but advanced means control under stress, not just grammar rules. Let's pause here and ask, how do you know your real level? Do you test it in exams, or do you test it in real life? Real life is the only mirror, and that mirror never lies. Arjun left the cafe after the interview. He felt heavy, like he had lost a battle. He kept asking himself one question. Why can't I speak the way I imagine? This is not only Arjun's problem. This is the hidden struggle of millions worldwide. Students in Asia, Europe, or America face the same. They learn English for years, but still feel weak in real moments. Have you ever passed a grammar test easily, but later failed to order food smoothly in another country? That is the gap between theory and reality. That gap is where most learners fall. C1 and C2 look beautiful on paper, but in real life, those labels often collapse. A true level is not about certificates. It is about calmness when the world is watching. So what is the solution for learners like Arjun? How can you escape this painful gap? The first step is practice in real situations. Not just in books, not just with exercises. Talk to strangers in English, even small sentences. Ask for directions, order food, share your opinion. The second step is recording yourself, because your phone is the best free teacher. When you hear your own mistakes, you grow. When you fix them, confidence slowly builds. The third step is patience. Fluency is not a sprint, it is a marathon. Arjun did not give up after that interview. He decided to train differently from that day. He stopped focusing only on grammar. He started focusing on courage. Arjun joined a speaking club in his city. At first, his voice shook when he spoke. But every week, he forced himself to try. Slowly, words started coming more naturally. One day, the group asked him a hard question. What is your opinion about success in life? Earlier, this type of question made him blank, but now he took a deep breath and answered slowly. He used simple words, but his ideas were clear. The group clapped, and he felt his heart grow lighter. Do you see the difference here? It's not about using big words. It's about brave communication. Many learners think fluency means long vocabulary, but fluency really means steady confidence in any moment. Imagine you meet a foreign client tomorrow. Would you rather speak fancy grammar or speak clear ideas? Of course, clear ideas win every time, because people value confidence more than perfection. This is where C1 and C2 become a joke. Labels don't help if your mouth stays locked in silence. Real English is tested in airports, interviews, and meetings, not in classrooms where everyone claps for small answers. So what should you do if you feel stuck? Let me give you 3 real solutions right now. Number 1, stop chasing levels, start chasing clarity. Say one idea clearly instead of 10 confused sentences. Number 2, train in pressure. Record yourself on camera while a timer runs. Number 3, face small challenges daily. Talk in English even if it's just for 30 seconds. Arjun followed these steps for 6 months. His progress shocked even his teachers. He applied again for a new interview. This time, his words flowed like water. The interviewer asked, "Why should we hire you?" He replied, "Because I can solve problems and keep learning fast." Simple, clear, and powerful. And yes, he got the job. Arjun's journey is not just his story. It is the story of every learner who fights with English. Maybe you are a student in India. Maybe you are a worker in London. Maybe you are a traveler in New York. Or maybe you are a dreamer in Manila. Wherever you live, the struggle is the same. The fear of speaking is universal. So ask yourself right now, what is stopping your English more, grammar or fear? If it is grammar, the solution is simple study. But if it is fear, the solution is courage practice. Let's face the truth together. Most learners are not C1 or C2, and that is okay. Because real fluency is not a level. It is the courage to speak even when your hands shake. Arjun learned this after many failures, and you can learn it without waiting for failure. Start small today, not tomorrow. Say one sentence in English before sleeping tonight. Call a friend and practice for 2 minutes. Ask your teacher one question in English tomorrow. When you collect these small wins, they grow. They turn into real confidence over time. Do not wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment never arrives. Your real level is tested in the real world, and only practice can push that level higher. So remember this final lesson. Stop worrying about C1 or C2. Start building courage. One day you will surprise yourself. Your English will open doors you never imagined. And when that day comes, you will smile. Because you will know the truth. Your level is life, not labels. Arjun's new job gave him confidence, but confidence alone is never permanent. He knew he must keep practicing daily. So he built a new rule for himself. Every morning he read one English article. Every evening he recorded one English story. At first his recordings sounded broken, but slowly they became clear and natural. Do you know why this works so well? Because practice under pressure changes your brain. Your tongue starts moving faster than your fear. Your ideas start flowing quicker than your doubts. Many learners forget this truth. They wait for confidence before they practice. But confidence comes only after practice. And practice begins only when you take action. Arjun learned this lesson deeply. That is why his English kept improving. 6 months later, he traveled to Singapore. For the first time, he spoke freely with foreigners. He asked for directions without fear. He explained his work clearly in meetings. Do you see how far he came? from silence in a cafe to speaking abroad. And this journey is open to you too, if you follow the same simple steps daily. Forget the joke of C1 and C2. Focus on the reality of courage and clarity. The world respects clarity more than labels, and life rewards action more than dreams. So what will you do after this story ends? Will you close it and forget, or start practicing today? Your answer decides your real English level. Not the exam score, not the certificate, but you. Because in the end, language lives inside your actions. Arjun looked back at his first failure. He realized that moment was a blessing, not a curse. If he had passed the first interview easily, maybe he would never have discovered his weakness. Sometimes failure is the real teacher. It shows you the mirror you keep avoiding. Have you ever failed and felt broken? What if that failure was the door to your growth? Arjun kept reminding himself of this. Every mistake I make is one step closer to fluency. He even made a challenge for himself. Every day he had to make one mistake in English on purpose. Strange, right? But this removed his fear of being perfect. Soon his friends noticed the change. He was laughing more, speaking more, and learning faster. This is a lesson many learners forget. Perfection blocks you, but mistakes push you forward. So stop worrying about being correct every time. Start focusing on being brave every time. Arjun's story began to inspire others. His classmates asked him, "How did you improve so much?" He smiled and gave them a simple answer. "I stopped chasing English. I started living in English." Living in English means thinking in it daily. It means writing your diary in English, not your native language. It means watching movies without subtitles. It means joking with friends in broken but brave English. And slowly, this lifestyle turns into fluency. Because English is not just a subject, it is an environment. Can you create that environment for yourself? Yes, even if you live in a non-English country. Talk to your phone, talk to your mirror, talk to your pet. It may feel silly, but it changes your brain deeply. Arjun became living proof of this method, and his success started attracting opportunities. One day his boss said, "We want to send you abroad." His heart jumped, but his voice stayed calm. He traveled to London for a project. There he had to present in front of 50 people. Imagine the pressure of that moment. Would he fail again like his first cafe interview? He walked onto the stage with steady steps. He opened his mouth and spoke with clarity. No fancy words, no complex grammar, just clear ideas, short sentences, strong eye contact. And when he finished, the room clapped loudly. In that moment, he knew he was no longer the same person. He was no longer chasing C1 or C2. He was chasing courage, and courage had rewarded him. So what about you? Will you keep waiting for the perfect level? Or will you begin building courage with your small daily actions? The choice is always in your hands. Your real English level is not a joke. It is a reflection of how much you practice under pressure. Forget labels. Forget fake levels. Focus on your growth, your courage, your story. Because tomorrow, it may be you standing on that stage. And the world will listen, not for your grammar, but for your message. So remember, your English journey is not about labels. It is about courage, action, and daily practice. If this story gave you value, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your friends who also dream of fluency. And if you want more stories that teach and inspire, stay with us and grow together every week. Hit subscribe, press the bell icon, and join our family. because your next English breakthrough may begin right here.